Hello, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Vilte Szekely and I am the CEO of Nordconn Sweden. And we are here in Stockholm, Södermalm in the beautiful D Park office. This is the studio engine and we are also streaming live on LinkedIn. And I know there are some people watching from different countries like Sweden, Hungary, Finland, Poland, Germany. So welcome to you too. And I also want to welcome this great audience. It's really good to see you. And I will introduce our panelists really soon. This is the second time actually that we are here and doing this event. The first one was last year, 2022 in November, and we talked about real stories within recruitment and what is the hardship coming out of COVID. We had a guest. She was coming from Toby. She is Sanna Friedel, and she is the talent acquisition head of Toby. So we had a really nice conversation with her. If you're interested, you can go to Nordconn Sweden LinkedIn site, and we have the whole conversation recorded, so you don't miss anything fun. About today, so this time we take a different shift and we will talk about the challenges of 2023. It seems such a long time ago, November. I don't know if it's just me, but it's just a few months, I think. But it still seems like a long time and many things changed. And now reskilling and retaining our employees is really crucial. In Sweden, in Europe, but also globally, there had been some changes regarding resource management. There had been some layoff. Probably you heard about that. Maybe you were involved in many of that. But we have a better focus now on the people and on the resources we have. Maybe you saw some ads of the event like being successful with tight resources. So this is the goal that we want to share with you and talk about today. So last time we had more like presentations. Now we have a short introduction by me. I promise I will keep it super short. And then we will have two panel discussions with our great guests who are or working at a Swedish company and have a lots of experience around managing people and making decisions and using their resources in a better way, or they do workshops, projects, consulting work at different kind of companies. So there will be a lots of experience to share. About Nordconn, if you don't heard too much about our company, we are a recruitment and analytics company. I am one of the owners, and I also have a business partner whose name is Peter. You can see his picture on the screen, but he's also somewhere in the audience, so you can meet him. And we are both coming from an economic background. We did a lot of projects and work in business and technology, but we also really love the work around people. And I think this was actually a common point why we started to work together, because we both realized that technology is a really good tool, but still it means nothing or not too much if you don't use it to build better people connections, better communication, and better collaboration. So this is what we are aiming to do. And you can see some of our services. We work with selecting HR technology, doing a lot of analytics around that, and we have consultants who work on those projects. So 2023, right? It's already April, almost May, so we are quite further in the year. Many things happened, and I don't know about you, but I feel super tired already. It feels like a really heavy year, 2023. And many things are happening. And I put in a quote. Since I worked at Microsoft, I really like to use quotes from Bill Gates. Of course, he was much younger when he said this, but he said that a lazy person will find a way to do the job quickly or more easily. And I think it's true, but it's not really about laziness, but about being smarter, right? To do a better job, to be smarter in a case when there's inflation and it's increasing. Then you have to be smarter with your budgeting. Or you have really tight resources. You maybe have some cuts on headcounts. You have to be more resourceful, smarter with your people skills. 2021 and 23 was super hard to recharge. Of course, some of us had the chance to go to Miami, for example, and have a good rest, but not everyone had the chance to travel. So you also have to make a smart plan of your time. Difficulties and difficult times lead to changes, and I think it's a really good way to learn from this of those changes and take them further and say, okay, like for example, remote office, quite convenient, right? We started it, it really grew in 2021, and now it's like the new norm to work from home 1 day, 2 days, every day. It's really, really typical and normal. I have a friend, she's an HR director, and one day she came to me and said, Vilte, I'm really tired of my job. I'm super stressed. It's really hard to push through decisions. There are lots of conflicts within the management. They're changing their opinions every month. So I just need a break from it. I need some rest. And I decided to go for a 10 days silent retreat. Okay, that sounds like fun. That sounds like interesting thing to do. So what are you expecting from that silent retreat? Well, I just want to have some time for myself. I want to rest my mind, rest my body, and be in silence, just get some chill time in. That sounds quite reasonable, I would say. I'm also looking forward to that. I would look forward to that. But what will you do when you come back, right? So life goes on, time moves on, the job will not change, so you have to go back and sit at the same chair and work with the same people and work with the same noise level. So how can people manage that? How can we manage that? And I think this is the crucial point. Like a silent retreat can be a really good tool if you want to just have a quick release, but we also need to learn how to rest and not to quit our goals, but take a short rest and then move forward. So how to rest in 2023 and maybe on the long term? I would like to share some tips about that with you. And I already mentioned reskilling, because the whole thing about reskilling is how can we do a better job with the resources that we have so we can have some free time, some release for ourselves. And here on the screen you can see some statistics, and it shows actually a global research. We don't have the source on there, but it's from BCG, and it's available online. I'm really happy to share with you the material if you're interested. And it shows that there are some professions that feel higher risk to lose their jobs, and it's correlated with the willingness to reskill or to retrain themselves. So for example, in professions where technology can come in, or AI or chatbots can come in, people feel a higher risk, like service jobs or sales or customer service. That can be a place where, okay, maybe I should learn something new. Maybe I should reskill myself. On the other hand, in jobs like healthcare or science and research, it's much harder, right? So if I'm doing lab work and analytics, and then I write a scientific paper, it will be super hard for me to move to another field. But probably there's a lower risk that technology will manage that and take care of that. So people feel a lower rate there to reskill themselves. Overall, there's also a global research, also from the same group, that says 70% of white-collar workers, so working in big offices, feel like they are willing, they are ready to reskill themselves. So if you ask them, they will say, yeah, of course, I would learn a new profession, I don't mind. But they don't really have the tools how to move forward. So if I say, yeah, I would be really happy to work in finance, but I'm not going to do anything about it, right? Because I don't really have the tools or anyone to push me to move forward. So one of the tips would be realize that there's willingness to reskill. And then during the panels, the panelists will share some actual tips how you can do that. Hire for more than one role. That's the second tip. And we actually do that in Nordconn, and I will share with you that example. And this means then when you hire someone and time passes by, probably the job will change. Probably what you need to be delivered, it will change. So you will need new skills. And what you can do is you let maybe that person go and then hire someone else for the job, or you can reskill them, or you can maybe keep them and again hire someone else, but then what do you do with the first person, right? So what we do at Nordconn, we hire for, we call them secondary skills, and I think it's our secondary role, and I think it's really crucial for the work. And what we do is we hire someone for HR consulting. Um, Maybe they already have experience in recruitment, and between engagements, they can help with the internal recruitment, or they can do a different job where they only need recruiting, not the consulting job. We do the same thing with junior people, so we hire them, for example, to be an HR specialist. They do contracting, administration, lots of work around that. But also during onboarding, we teach them basic recruitment skills. So when there's a gap between jobs or engagements, they can help out seniors with recruitment activity and learn more about that profession. So that can be super useful. The third tip is fill the missing capacity with temp consultants. And I think it's quite common in Sweden to work with external consultants, but I still want to highlight this because there are many shorter projects where you say, okay, I only need someone for 10 months or 18 months. And then if you hire someone for that job, they will have expectations. They want some stability. They want to be part of that group, right? And then when the work ends, you just get rid of them. It's a tough feeling. It's not okay. Also, it's super expensive. Also, you put in a lot of effort to keep that person in that 18 months, to satisfy that person in that 80 months. If you work with a temp person, with a contractor, they already have a contract with your company, so you don't need to put in anything extra regarding to that. And when the engagement finishes, you just say goodbye or do a second work, a second gig, maybe with a different consultant if you are in contract with a company with different skills and knowledge. So if you get tired, learn how to rest, not to quit. Use your time in a smart way. Just to give you a quick summary, people are really open to reskill, to retrain themselves, and we will hear a lot of tips about that from our panelists. Hire for a secondary role. Few years ago, it was a big hype to talk about growth mindset. I'm sure you remember, and this is the best way actually to hire people with actual growth mindset. Temp consultants for quick fix or for temporary jobs, there's an actual business model built on that. So feel free to use it and do that. And we arrived to our first panel, and I will come there to you.